Hello, everybody. It's Becky from Living the Dream Quilt Shop in Bridgeport, West Virginia, and it's time for the Sunday night social. Is everybody ready? So just come on in, hang out tonight. We are going to be working on something fun, something very easy, very beginner friendly. I did not realize how many people had never made raggy quilts before. Even some of my more experienced customers came into the shop this week and said, "What is a raggy quilt?" A raggy quilt is a very fun quilt. There is Seth. Hey, Seth. It's a very fun quilt to make, and we just got an even funner quilt to make in here. So, this is the Santa Suit Storybook and Fabric Squares to make your very own raggy quilt. And this is super kid friendly. So if you've got a little one you want to quilt with, but you might want to make the quilt and give it to your kids or your grandkids in time for Christmas under the tree, because let me show you what comes with this. There is Elaine, there's Melissa, and they both already purchased their kits. In this kit, you get this Santa Suit book, and it tells the story of Mrs. Claus making quilts for boys and girls out of and for Santa, and using pieces of Santa's suit in the quilt. So it tells you at the end of the book, Santa will be delivering quilts to boys and girls throughout the Christmas season. Each quilt will be made with love and contain a patch from one of Santa's ruined suits. All right, Marie's working on her raggy quilt tonight. Marie, I'm sorry. I don't think I got to say two words to you the other day. We were so busy in the shop. But with this kit, you also get this gift tag that you just press out of here that says special delivery for and made with love by, which is really cute. There's Jean. Hey, Jean, how are you tonight? And you also get all of the material you need and some really great instructions for making this Christmas quilt. And here is the piece of the Santa fabric. It's got some fuzz on it because I had it in the middle, but it's nice and velvety, just like Santa's suit. So I love it. Deb, you already made one. They're very easy, aren't they? I love that about this. And you get really cute materials with it. Here are some of the materials. They're only $40 a piece. And if you would like your own, type in S1 during this video, or you can go online, go over to the description, go online to the quilt shop, type in S1 in the search bar. It'll take you right to it. I am doing great tonight, Jean. Thanks. Before I came live, does anybody out there have a 3D printer? So I was online about a week ago, and I was looking for a certain template I want because I came up with a really good quilt idea. And I wanted to do a tutorial with you guys on this quilt, but I needed a template. So I was looking for a template that I could have the shop's name written on. And the lowest I could find was $16.99. And my little AI chat guy came up and said, if you had a 3D printer, you could print this for a fraction of the cost and make a better profit. I was like, what? So I looked into it. It is now printing my first, I think they're called Benchies. It's a little boat. Everybody apparently prints out a Becci. Seth, did you print a Becci out when you got your 3D printer? Now I'm going to be driving Seth crazy with questions about this 3D printer, but it says it's beginner friendly, and I set it up all by myself. I was so proud. There is Sunny. Hey, sis, how are you? 11 more to go, Melissa. Is that all? All right, Marie, thank you, thank you. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to take you guys through this step by step, and it's only 2 pages of instructions. Very easy to do. You're going to remember when we get through this how to do it on your own. You're not even going to need the instruction sheet. And the great thing about it is all the pieces are already cut. You don't even have to cut them. They need to stop having babies. I understand completely. Although I would like mine to be a little closer. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go over to this other camera here. I don't know how well you guys can see me here. Let's see, I might be able to. Let's see, Seth. Let's see what Mom can do. Can I get this bigger? Hang on. I can get it a little bit bigger. Now I've taken it off. Okay, now I see. Mama's learning, Seth. I'm learning. Looky there. Rut-row. See if I can take it up this way. Get you guys zoomed in really good down here. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to do, I've already done a couple of these, I thought, but so what you want to do is you want to take one of your patterns. You want actually two of them, but you're going to lay one of your patterns down, face down, and you're going to place one of the white flannel pieces in between it, right on top. And I'm going to do about 8 of these to start off with, because, or I'll do 10. I want to do at least 2 rows with you guys tonight, and it goes really fast. Now, this has, we want to watch the way our fabric goes, but this has figures upside down, right side up, sideways. So I don't think it really matters on this piece because it's not really directional. And it doesn't have to be perfectly even, just as close as you can get it. That is the great thing about making a raggy quilt. It doesn't have to be perfect, and nobody's going to know it. That's what I love about this. So there's our first one. And I'm going to use some from each of, well, we'll do 2 of each, because we'll do 2 rows, and I want to use some from each of the fabric here. So what are you guys working on tonight? Anybody working along with me on their on this? I've got a couple people with them out there. You'll see the sewing machine when I start sewing, no worries. Are you still salivating over this machine, Melissa? I will talk about my CM17 here in a little bit. Melissa is wanting her very own. Tell hubby you need this for Christmas. Tell him it's a have to have kind of thing. Mine are all in Virginia, Melissa. I hardly ever get to see them, but I'm going to start making time to go see my grandkids because they're growing up without me. It's killing me. All right, we got some really nice Christmas lights here. I need to make 2 of these. And you can probably have this quilt done in a day. It is just such an easy thing to make. I saw you took a drive today, Melissa. It looked like you went some fun places. And I know you guys think this is weird that I am putting this in and the fabric is face down and face up, but we're just going to sew right on top of it. Quick and easy. And it's coming together pretty close. If you have a little bit of a lip, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know if you can see this here, but I've got like 1/8 of an inch sticking up. I promise you, nobody's going to see that. Did I do 2 of those? Yes, I did. And we've got some fun Santa fabric here now. Now, this one's directional. So all the Santas are facing one way. So you want to make sure these blocks are going to stay, I'll show you here in a second, facing the same direction. So we've got the Santas facing down and they're right side up. And then on this side, we want to make sure once again, the Santas are the right side up. Is Alex here from Scotland, Seth? I was so excited. I actually got to FaceTime with her the other day. Seth really had a surprise for me at the show. There you go, Melissa. What kind of camera did you get? And if you're new on here, make sure you stop in, say hey, let us know where you're from, hang out with us, watch what's going on, work on your own thing. That's what the Sunday night social's all about. Hanging out, meeting new people, and maybe learning something new. All right, next up we've got some kind of reminds me of peppermint candy or something. So I don't think it's really going to matter which way those lines are going, but I do believe I want them going the same direction on each side of the quilt. But I don't guess it really matters. They could be going all kinds of directions. All the kids are going to be worried about is where the Santa suit is. And this quilt, I don't think I said in the beginning, the finished size, oh, I think it's on the directions. The finished size is 38 by 46. So a nice lap quilt for the kids. And they can snuggle up in it Christmas Eve and wait for Santa to appear. There is Alex from Scotland. Hello, Alex. Happy Sunday. Alex is going to begin quilting, or did you already start, Alex? I'm so excited for you. Oh, you're almost done with it. Elaine, you have been busy. Based on our earlier conversation, I find it hard to believe, but I'm teasing you, Elaine. All right, and I think I've got one more here. I'm not going to put the Santa suit in it yet. I kind of want it more toward the middle. Some people are putting it in the upper corners. Now, Debbie Markley was in the other day. She had a really good idea, and I think I'm going to do this too. So, my last block, I'm going to put the white flannel on the outside, and before I put it in the block, I'm going to embroider it. And I'm going to put something on there like to Cammy, love Mrs. Santa. So, or specially made for you by Mrs. Santa. Something really cute and, that makes the kids feel really good and feel like they're part of something special. Maybe put a little embroidered Christmas tree on it. And if anybody else has any good ideas for it, let me know. Now, I have like a gold thread on. I could have used red. You can use any color you want because you're actually going to see these threads. Maybe, hmm, maybe I should have used a red. Let me see. I'm going to get another bob, and you know what? I'm going to use either red or green on this. I think that's a great idea. Hang on, I'll be right back. Move this camera. Sorry, you guys. I just made everybody dizzy, I know. Let me see. I need a bobbin. And some red thread. This is the great thing about being in a quilt shop. I can go grab whatever I need as long as I can afford to pay for it, right? Okay. Let's see. I need more workspace. Seth, you wouldn't believe the setup I've got in here now. I'm squeezed in between cameras. And I think I'm sitting on a camera cord. No, I'm not. Alex, Seth's probably sitting there dying now when I say things like that. She's sitting on the camera cord? He knows me. Okay. So I'm going to back up a little bit here. Or, here we go. Yeah, I still need that a little bit smaller. Or, that's pretty good, right, Melissa? Now you can see. Let me turn this around a little bit. So here's my screen. This is my CM17. Its name is Madeline because that was my grandma's name. I call her Maddie, just like my grandma. And here's where I pick out my stitches. So I'm just needing the basic straight stitch on this. Now, you could do any stitch you want because, as you're going to see in a minute, we are going to make X's across our material. That will be seen in the quilt. This is not piecing like you've done before. So if you want to do a zigzag stitch or something, you most certainly can. And let me see. I'm going to go ahead and thread this real quick. And this machine is very easy to thread, very easy to load your bobbins. And the reason it has two bobbin holders or thread holders here is because it has a separate motor for your bobbin winder. So you can actually wind a bobbin while you're sewing if you want. But I'm so used to doing them separate, I don't think I could do it. Oh, that down. But it has a totally separate bobbin motor, which I think is absolutely wonderful. You just hit that button and away it goes. Let's see, I'll catch up. All right, Alex, you can start with this one. It's really easy. It is very addictive. Yeah, gold and silver will look great, and you could even mix it up with your different blocks. That's a great idea, Melissa. Lori worked on hers. Lori's doing too. She's got two grandkids she's doing it for. Oh, Melissa, I understand completely. This is my baby. I love this machine. And it's so easy to use. Everybody's afraid it's complicated because it's bigger, but this machine does everything but make the coffee. So break that thread, and then I'm just going to thread my machine up. Now, like I said, it will load your bobbin separately. A lot of people, like when they're piecing, they just use white. But since we're going to be seeing all of our stitches here, I didn't want to do it in a white. I could have done white, but I wanted to do it in red so it can be readily seen. No pun intended. Is Karen Bush on here? Oh, I forgot. So, a couple weeks ago, I broke my threader, and I'm waiting for Jeff to come in. Jeff, the sewing guy that fixes all our machines, and fix my threader. But luckily, I got new glasses so I can actually see. All right, let me change this bobbin. Top drop bobbin. Love this. You just drop it in. There's a little thing sticking up here. You go around that and around this little circle and let it go. And she is ready to play. All right, so what we're going to do, and because of the time constraints, I don't want to keep you guys on here all night. I would do a very beautiful decorative stitch on here. This thing has, I can't even remember how many. It's a huge amount of decorative stitches. But because of teaching you guys and doing the sew along, and I want to at least do 2 rows to show you guys exactly how to put your rows together for those of you that have never done this. So I'm not going to do the decorative stitches tonight, but you just sew from one end, one corner across, straight across to the other. And if you're new, you might want to take a ruler and mark across it. Once you've had a lot of practice, you will be able to do a straight line right across that. You can pin it if you need to, but like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect because your seams around the edges, it's going to be ragged. So it's not going to be bad at all. You'll see here in a few minutes. Oh, I need to make one more of these. I only made one of those. I must have been talking too much. And if anybody has any questions, let me know. There is Dottie Dillon. Hello, sweetheart. I sent him a message. I'm going to have to ask him again, Melissa. I think I've sent him 2 messages on that. Maybe he's looking for one since it's an older machine. Speed that up a little bit. And for those of you like Alex that are new to quilting, when I started, I would have cut my thread and then sewed the other side of the square. But it is such a time saver to do what we call chain piecing. So you just sew down one side, load the next one in, get them all sewed, then you turn them all around and do the other side. So much faster. This is a really cute pattern. I didn't think I'd like it. I actually do. Look at that. Really cute. I don't know if you guys can see the green lines going across it, but it is adorable. Okay, I'm going to cut the thread just because I want to show you guys this. So on this one, I have come down just a little bit far on this. Because we're doing a raggy quilt and I'm going to come down a 1/2 inch, I'm not going to worry about that. If I was working on a regular quilt, oh, the seam ripper would be out already. But on a raggy quilt, that little bit ain't going to matter. And just feed the next one in. And if anybody has any questions, ask them. Ask away. Did I? Okay. First, I thought I put all of them together, all the pieces together for both sets, but no. And then what I do, in case you're wondering, I look at the bottom and I just head right for that seam. And once you've been sewing for a while, Lori, I'm sure you didn't mark your blocks, did you? Did you just sew them straight across? Once you get used to it, it's kind of like secondhand to be able to do that. Yeah, the chain piecing just makes it so much faster. Now I've got 2 more to go here, then we'll turn it around. And it doesn't matter which corner to corner you're doing, because we're making an X across all of these. When we go to sew them together, that's when we'll be paying attention to directional. So when you're putting them together, and when you're sewing them together, because when you're putting them together, let me go back to the Santas. They're really the only ones that are directional. You just want to make sure they're facing right side up on both sides. That's all. The others, they're not really directional unless you want all of your stripes going one way on each side of your quilt. So then I've got this long chain here. I'm just going to, oh, it won't work, I don't think. Yeah, so I'll have to, I should have had my chain cutter up here. I'll just cut all these. If you're doing really small squares, it works just to flip it around, but we're doing big ones, so that didn't work this time. Okay, so now we're going down the other side. So I've already sewed across this way from one edge to the other. Now I'm going down. So I've got an X across my quilt block. And if you're working on something different tonight, let us know what you're working on. Elaine is doing a table runner, right, Elaine? Dottie, what are you working on tonight? Dottie, they've got flannel in the middle. The white is flannel, the rest is cotton, and the Santa suit is like velvety. And one thing I want to tell you, when you get your raggy quilt done, wash it. Wash it, wash it, wash it. You don't have to put soap in it, but just get it wet, stick it in the dryer. It rags. The more you wash it, the more it rags. And the closer you cut your, you'll see when I go to clip it, when you clip your raggy part, once you get the quilt done, the closer your little clips are, the better it'll rag. And the quicker it'll rag. I guess eventually it'll all rag the same, but it does it a lot faster if your stitches are, your cuts are close together. Yeah, I figured you did, Lori. Yeah, it's so much easier just to sew. Oh, Melissa, no, I can't imagine. I've got all this room over here. Cannot imagine. So if we had your machine on camera, your side would probably be right there. You just have that small quilt space. Yeah, this has a huge throat. I love it. And it does embroidery. It quilts in the hoop. You can free motion. It has a stitch regulator. Everything but make the coffee. Your husband will be jealous of this machine because you'll always be with your machine. Kind of like cheating, but really not. But it doesn't talk back to you, and it doesn't give you trouble too often, so in a way it's a whole lot better. Oh, now we are almost to the point where I can sew these blocks together. And it's so much more fun that I didn't have to cut the blocks out. I love that. Great idea for this. I love getting a kit where everything's ready and you just sit down and start sewing. Of course, I've got the AccuCutters now, so I guess I can cut them pretty darn fast. Oh, is it working good, Dottie? What do you say, Melissa? Tell them come on up here and talk to me. All right. So we have all of those. Our X's are sewn across them. Go ahead and snip the threads in between. And I'm just using the side cutter on my machine. Now, I can't think of their name now. The ones that make the purple thing, they have a cutter that is phenomenal. And we've got them up here in the shop. I just have mine down in the basement. So, as you can see, I've sewn an X across my block. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me pan over here now. I'm going to set the other fabric down. And what I'm going to do, I don't have a lot of area to lay them, but I'm just going to kind of lay out a row here. These Santas on. I'm going to start off with Santa Claus in the corner. I love those Santas. And I'll put these stripes beside the lights here. And what else do we have? Candy canes. I'm going to put the next Santa Claus over here. And then the candy canes. So now I'm going to make a stack of my 5. And I believe it's 5 rows across. Let me check the directions once again, just to be sure. Yeah, it's 5 across and 6 down. Okay, so I've got them in the order that I want them to be in. So now what I'm going to do, I want this one to be first on the corner of my quilt, and I want this one to be second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the second one and lay it on top of the first. And then I'm going to sew right here on the left-hand side. And we normally sew a 1/4 inch. We're going to sew a 1/2 inch. So you're going to, oh, my machine came unthreaded. Hold on a second. So normally you're using a 1/4 inch stitch. That's what we're always used to. But you definitely want a 1/2 inch for this. When we go to trim it to make the raggy, you'll see why. All right, so I've got my 1/2 inch mark on my machine. If you don't have a 1/2 inch mark, if you're new and you're not sure where the 1/2 inch is, roll your machine down, which I've got this neat little roller right here on my machine. Roll your machine down, take a ruler and go against your needle and measure out a 1/2 inch and put some painter's tape or some wasabi tape on that 1/2 inch edge so you know where that 1/2 inch is. You want to follow the 1/2 inch mark. That's the definite. All right, so I'm just going to start sewing these two together now. All right, as you all know, we have been taught that when we sew that seam and we open our quilt up, I actually just sewed it backwards. Oh, I love when I do that because I'm used to that 1/4 inch seam. Doggone it. Doggone it. Well, I guess my Santa's going to be, this might be row 3 or row, no, it won't be row 2 because I don't want it close to the other Santas. I'm used to this being the top, so that would have been on the left, but no, it's on the right because this is the top. This is the part that's gonna rag. Doggone it. This will be row 3. It's all good. Okay, so now let me reiterate. So for 3 and 4 over here, All right. I want, let me see how I want this now. I think I'll do it like that. Okay. So I want this to be the first one in my row and this to be the second. So now, let me make sure I'm doing this right. If I flip this over and sew, if I flip this over, I would need to sew this edge. Okay. So you flip it over and you sew this right edge. Does that make sense? I might have to figure out another way. This got me thrown off now. Usually when I do a raggy quilt, I'm not doing anything that I need to have facing a certain way. Okay, so let's see. And these two aren't directional, so I don't guess it really matters. But, yeah, so now I've got my Santa Clauses where I want them, and these lines in the middle. And then, yes. So now I want this edge to stick up, so that's easy enough. Put the first one on top, the other one on the bottom. And if I just lost anybody, tell me to back up and do it again. Half-inch seam allowance. Don't forget that. That's really important. Okay. So here we have the first four, and our seams are all sticking up. So now I want these Santas on the left, this one on the right. So you can flip it over this way, but then when you go to sew, sew it upside down. That's the trick. Okay. I knew there was one, I couldn't remember it. And if anybody else has a better trick, let me know. Time for Jack? Yeah, I'm telling you, Lori, absolutely. Jack the Ripper makes a scene here every day. The Santa should be on the bottom like you have it. Leave the sides out that you want to see. Oh, look what I did. See? Jack's coming out, Lori. Look what I did. So all my seams are sticking up. I sewed that one the wrong direction. Doggone it. Where's my seam ripper? Elaine, do you know where the seam ripper is? Doggone it. I knew I'd have to get that out tonight. Let me find my seam ripper, girls. It won't take but a minute to rip that seam out. All right, I'm not seeing it there. Here it is. Right where it belongs. Thank you, Elaine and Carol and Diane. They make sure everything stays where it belongs here. Oh, okay. All righty. So let me rip this seam out real quick. Here's old Jack. Got him out. He knew he wasn't going to sleep through this performance. Okay. Dottie, it's harder to do on a half-inch seam. See. There we go. That seam is ripped out. Now, let me think about this. Okay. So this goes below it. I see what you're saying, Marie. You want the piece that you want on the left on top and the other piece below it, and then sew on the right hand side. Good job, Marie. 192, yowza. And if you're enjoying watching me use my seam ripper, or if you're liking what you see on here, make sure to join our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps small shops out when you hit that subscribe button. Totally free and really helps small shops. So hit that subscribe button. You can see all of our previous tutorials, sew-alongs, sales, all of that good stuff. Okay, so I'm actually going to put row 2 on this one. So let's see, we'll put, I'm matching them up with my previous row so they're not all in a line. I don't want it to be together. I don't want anything following each other. I want it to be all different and fun looking. Okay, so there we go. I've got those all mixed up. And let me put them in a pile. And I'll go from top to bottom then, since we always keep the one we want on the left up. So here's my first row. And as you guys can see, I've got that 1/2 inch seam sticking up on all of these. Did I just, oh, I dropped the mouse. That's okay. All right, so we are going to sew again. And this time we are just picking up. This is my first one in line, and this will be the second. So I'm doing the opposite of what I do when I normally piece. 1/2 inch seam allowance. And you do not have to do the little tie off or back up on either end, because that's going to work out when we sew the quilt together. So you'll be fine. Just sew straight down. And then I'm just going to add the next 2 in. All right, there is my first 2. There's my second 2. I'm just going to flip that second one. Nope. I'm going to flip it under, not over. You got to think the opposite of quilting. Flip the second one under the first one. So that seam will be out. Yes, the ripper has to be your friend, Elaine. Absolutely. Where'd my mouse go? We got a lot of comments here. I'm missing out. There's Karen Bush. Karen Bush, you missed all of the crazy mess ups I've done. Where you been, girlfriend? Oh, that is nice, Marie. Very nice. I do, Maura. Yes, I do. He will be here next Friday. It's Jeff from Jeff's Sewing Station in PA. And Jeff will be here next Friday morning. So if you want to drop your machine off Thursday, we're open from 11 to 4 Thursday. You can drop it off, and he picks up the first and drops off the first Friday of every month. So he'll have it back in 30 days. Thank you, Marie. Karen's folding towels. You still doing laundry, Karen? Okay, so normally I would take my rows. I'm going to zoom out here real quick so you guys can see more of this. There we go. So normally I would take my rows and I would fold them down like this, but we don't want to do that. We don't want our seams on right here sticking up. So what we have to do is fold it under. So I'm going to take the 2 rows and fold them like this, so my seams are sticking out on both sides. Now, here you might want a pin. Let me see if I've got any pins in here. I do. Oh, I've got clips. Good. That's even better. Clips are much better than pins. Got a ruler in my way. All right, so let me take these clips. And what we're going to do, we want these seams to run together. So you're going to fold it down a little bit and make sure those seams run together. And then I just push one way and one the other. And clip that right there. And just go down your row. The next seams, put your seams together on the inside. Push one way, one the other. And they'll nest right together. Do I have one more clip? Yes. One way, one the other. And clip it. And then this one I'll just hold and do as it goes through. And then line up your beginning. So now I'm going to put this through the machine. Half-inch seam allowance, just like we did with putting the blocks together. And when you go over the seams, just go a little bit slower. This Janome does great. If you've seen that go over that, I didn't even realize it. But some of the machines will bulk up a little bit under that load. But you will not even change, your tension won't even change with the Janome. And yeah, I've got that folded the wrong way. Nope, caught it underneath my foot. And out to the end. All right, so we have 2 of our rows sewed together. And this is what it's looking like so far. And let me see how the back did. Look there. See how they all 4 came together? Nice. 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 And that one is just a tad bit off, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's pretty nice, but the other 4 are really nice. And so far, this is what I have. Now, what I wanted to show you guys. So you can use regular scissors. Don't kill yourself. Do not kill yourself. It's so not worth it. These are spring-loaded snips. I love spring-loaded sips. They are so worth it. So what we're going to do, and normally you wouldn't do this yet. I'm only going to do it on the inside ones to show those of you that want to know now uh, how you actually make the ragging part. Um, what you're going to do, you can see where your seam is right here. You just want to go along and make little snips. Oh, my snips aren't very sharp. Oh, has Kenyon been using these for something else? Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. So let me get a pair of sharp ones. If you use your scissors, it's really hard to do. Because you have to keep continually, well, I'll just use these while we're doing this. See if I can get it in the light. I don't know if you guys can see better like that or not. I am just making little snips about every 1/8 of an inch right below my seam up here. You don't want to cut that seam. So you just do this along here. And you can see here, see how that's all fuzzing out? Now, as you wash this, it's going to go down to the threads. And you'll just have a bunch of threads and it'll be real frilly. Makes a really nice rag quilt. And when this is all over the quilt, see that down there? It just makes a beautiful design on the quilt. So really fun to do, fun to make, great project. And if you want to do the Santa Claus suit quilt, we still have, I think, 13 in the shop. You can't keep getting them. I mean, not you, the shops. They're only putting so many out. So if you want one, type in S1. I will, if you're not already in the system, if you go to the description, you can go to the register for the shop, and then either text me or come back here and type in S1, and I will get that in the mail to you. You'll have an invoice in your inbox, and as soon as you paid for it, I'll get that out to you. But I'm going to do a couple more of these. So if you guys want to hang out and chat, I am good to go. Karen's quitting her job and hiring a maid. Karen, that sounds wonderful to me. I tried to get Kenyon to do it. He did make his own dinner tonight, Karen, so I haven't had dinner. He offered to make it for me, but I just wasn't in the mood. No, Angie hasn't gotten any yet, Marie. I don't know if she saw him yet. She might have come on late the other night. It goes so fast. It's a very easy quilt to do, Melissa. I do a lot of beginner classes with it because it's so easy. You don't really have to worry about your seams because, I mean, they'll see the X, but once you get it all trimmed up, they don't see this seam going across here. That's why I said, like with, if you had a little bit sticking up on the edge, you're not going to see that. It's all going to be raggy, so you're not even going to be able to tell. That's what I love about this. Very easy to make. Elaine, are you working on yours tonight? I said I was going to make all of these stripes go one way. I don't think I am. I think I want them going all kinds of different ways to make just a prettier pattern on the quilt. So I'm going to do all of these now in a row instead of just doing 10. And I only have 4 more rows to go. So I'm almost halfway there. And Did I have two pieces in? Oh, here it is. I knew I was missing one. I'll put that up here. And then don't forget to leave one block out for the Santa suit. I've got it buried and I think I'm coming up on it now to have my piece of the Santa suit. And I think I'm going to take one of the stripies out to put this to replace the suit with. Yeah, let her know. I usually do one piece of flannel in between. Now, Jean, normally, and that is a great question, Jean. Thank you for asking that. I normally do all of my raggy quilts with flannel and blue jeans. Blue jeans are very heavy, but I did all of my sons' their favorite football team colors with flannel, and then I used their old blue jeans in the quilt. And I had that Visions of West Virginia panel that had little pictures of like coal miners, um, the covered bridge in Philippi, all of that. I added those in between the flannel blocks. It ragged so well. Flannel and blue jeans rag great. Cotton will rag pretty good, but not it takes a lot longer. So, yeah, I always use one piece of flannel in the middle, and then I normally have flannel on both sides or blue jeans on one side and flannel on the other. Now, if you do blue jeans on both sides, that is a very heavy quilt. I tried it once and I won't do it again because it was so heavy for just a lap size quilt, and every time I would put it in the washer, and I told you, get it wet and dry it a lot to get it to rag. Every time I would put it in the washer, my washer would walk out from the wall. It shook that washer to death. So, very good question, Jean. The throat on my machine, it is 13 inches, Melissa. 13. So, it is like 3 times the size of yours. So, it makes it great for quilting and for that embroidery unit. Alrighty, girlfriend. So, who else do we have on here tonight? We got a lot of people in here. If you're new, say hey, let us know where you're from. If you like what you're seeing, go over and hit that subscribe button in YouTube. And you can see all of our tutorials, all of our sew alongs. You can also catch we just finished a 12-week, 13-week class actually on a sampler quilt where we did 12 different blocks, all for beginners, and it was great. We had a great time. So check out those videos. Okay, there's the ones I did the other day. I knew I'd done a couple. I really love these Santas. That is too cute. That's why I'm using one of the stripes to leave out to do the Santa suit with. These others are so cute, I don't want to leave them out of the quilt. Lori, did you get one done today? Show the quilt kit? Yes, ma'am, I will. Are you on your Ange? There she is. All right, Angie, here you go. This is the quilt kit. It is a keepsake for kids, grandkids. It's the Santa Suit Quilt Kit. They are $40. Just type in S1 and you get all the material. Plus, you get this cute little book that tells the story of Mrs. Santa making these quilts. And you get a piece of Santa's suit to put in the quilt. So, really amazing. Doesn't take long at all to do. and we've got a limited supply. Yeah, did you see the book, Ange? Oh, you're doing the embroidery too. That is such a great idea. Yes, ma'am, Angie. I will set one back for you. When are you coming home? And why didn't you take me to Wisconsin? I would have went. I can't believe I'm almost finished with this. I'm almost finished putting these together, not the whole quilt. Big Brother's on. Aha. All right, Dottie. I love you, girlfriend. Oh, you're in Montana. Well, I'd have went to Montana too. I wouldn't have complained. You won't catch me complaining about being out west unless it's Arizona or No offense. I just don't want to be where it's real hot. I like the mountains. I don't want anybody to think I'm saying anything bad about those other states, but I love the mountains. All right, let's see. I am missing. There we go. Found them. So in the front of your quilt kit, they have one of each of the squares. So don't forget those are there. Don't forget to use those in your quilt. Thank you, Carol. 103. Oh, Willa, I am making a Santa suit quilt. Um, it's these kits we got in. Oh, upside down. It comes with a nice little book for the kids or grandkids and all the material you need to make this lovely rag quilt. And we are working on the rag quilt tonight. What are you into tonight, Willa? Yeah, I didn't even realize Montana got that hot. That's crazy hot. I thought we were doing bad, but it was quite cool here today, Ange. So if you want to come on home, it cooled down here. Yeah, so because we already had this material cut, it must have saved a lot of time because I'm telling you, I have never had anything come together this fast. And this is so easy, just putting these blocks together to sew. It is. It's a really neat kit. Um, like 2 or 3 years ago, they came out with that little ghost that was a quilt book, and everybody was making those quilts and using those books, giving them the books in the quilt. And this was just such a great add on to that. I love the idea. So I actually, Lori Hartman, have to make two of these too. I am going to make one for my youngest granddaughter because I think the other two, Seth, what do you think, might be too old for this? And then one for my two grandsons. But I might end up making three because I don't know if the boys will share. I might have to make them each one. I am almost at the end. I've only got 2 more pieces of flannel. But I think I have some extra blocks here. Let me see. I only seem to have one Santa. Where's my... Lori, did they give you... Is it supposed to be the one Santa that's on the back of the Santa block? Because I actually have enough to do one more with both of the stripes, but I only have one more Santa and the Christmas block. There's Tris Fisher. Hey, Tris, how you doing? We are working on a raggy quilt kit we got in the shop. If you haven't seen it, it's Santa's quilt suit, and it comes with a book for the kids and grandkids. Yes, ma'am, Marie. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. All right, so I was going to leave one of these out because I thought we had enough of these to make 2 blocks, but they give you enough to make all 5 of these, and then you put this on the other side of the Santa. Okay, gotcha. Alrighty. So you have exactly enough to do your quilt with. And for those of you just joining, if you haven't done a raggy quilt before, make sure you can either go back to the beginning or hang out because you're about to see me do it again. But we are putting this raggy quilt together. We've got a piece of flannel in between all of our cotton. And now let me see. I don't know whether I should put this velvet on the... Let's see how it does. I've never had velvet in this machine before. So we are... Oh, did it come unthreaded? I believe it did. Oh, it's storming outside. If I lose you guys, I can hear it thundering. Peyton wants to sew? Well, I will just have to get my Peyton. Regina, I got my my bamboo 3D printer in today. I've got my first little Becci on there. So if you guys don't know what a Becci is, I'll show you Thursday night. It's this little boat. Apparently, it's the going trend that when you get your machine, you got to make a Becci first, and it's a big thing. So, did that just come in threaded again? It's probably God telling me, hey, it's storming out there, Becky. Piece of fuzz in there. Okay. Oh, put my needle up. That's another thing I love about this machine. I've got this nice little wheel here on the CM17. It's also on the M8, where you can move it instead of reaching all the way over across your machine to move your needle up and down. Or I've got a button, but you've just got a variety of options, and I always like moving my needle right where I want it. Okie dokie. Let's see how this does. Oh yeah, it's going over it like it's nothing. And if you're doing, like I said earlier, you can do decorative designs. You just want to make an X across your fabric. And if you want to do a decorative design, it looks really nice in the middle of your fabric. Christmas trees would look great, but it takes a long time. So I'm just sewing a straight stitch, straight across both corners from corner to corner of the squares. And I might have to go back later because I might want to do something different. I might want to add in on a few of these. I might have to think about that. Doing a few different decorative stitches to kind of spice the quilt up. And like I said, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that right now before I forget. Oh, let me see. So Kenyon got my little Benchy out that I did with my 3D printer. Look what I made today. Isn't that adorable? I made a little boat. I love it. Absolutely love it. That is great. It's smooth. I don't know if you guys can see the artwork on there. It's textured. I love my little Benchy. Great, great, great. That is awesome. I am so glad I got this. Wait till you guys see the sewing stuff I'm going to be making with that. It is to die for. Very nice. Thank you, Kenyon. And it sits up so pretty. I don't know if you guys can. Yeah, you can see my little Benchy in the corner. Look at that. Love it. Oh, Regina, I'm having a blast. Karen can't watch Big Brother. Oh no. You want me to create some drama, Karen? Everybody come up with the best piece of drama you can create for Karen tonight because she is truly missing out on her drama night. Oh, I am making sewing machine phone holders. I am making templates for quilts. Um, and I'm not charging as much as all these other stores do. What else are we making? There is so much I can't even tell you. There's these little um hexagon walls that are like pegboard, but it's not pegboard, but it's very close. And they're in hexagons. And you make these little hooks and you put the hooks in and hang all your quilting stuff. And you can do the hexes in different colors. I have been going nuts all week. While I've been working on people's quilts, I've been looking at these. So it is amazing. So, what I wanted to tell you guys, Lori is working on her embroidery now. So, I am taking this one out of my pile. I almost forgot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom piece and I'm going to add it to the top because, oh wow, it's really storming out there. Because I want to embroider this with a message from Mrs. Santa. So I don't want that piece sewed. So I'm going to put that over here with a safety pin on it because if I don't, I'll forget what I was doing and I won't remember and I'll end up sewing it. Elaine's in. All right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Did you make it, Karen? Jean, I didn't either. I was looking for a template for a ruler I wanted to do a quilt with for the shop, and I found them, and I wanted to put the quilt shop's name on them because for the retreats, I do a lot of different gifts for the girls that go on retreat. And Jean, by the way, if you want to check out retreat, we're going November 4th to the 8th to Amish country in Ohio. It's a blast. But I always give away these special things to all the girls that come, and the cheapest I could get that was 16 a piece, and I didn't. It's hard to spend that much money on one thing when I'm giving everybody a lot of stuff. So my little AI assistant come up and said, "Becky, do you know you can make these with a 3D printer for much less?" And I was like, "Will it put my shop's name on it?" "Well, yes, it will, Becky." So I got a 3D printer. I just got it set up about an hour and a half before I went live, and I made my little boat. So I am so excited to see what all I can do with it. And on the upcoming shows, you'll see different helpful things for sewing that I'll have for sale. There is Karen Warwick. Hey, sweetheart. It is amazing. All and not just for sewing, all the different things you can make with them. It's crazy. Different toys, plant holders, plant stands, toolboxes. I'm telling you, it is endless what you can do with those. And tools, you can make tools. I just couldn't believe it. So maybe I'll go on and do some videos of working with the 3D printer. How are you doing, Miss Karen Warwick, my sister Rue? What is going on in your world? We want to know how Wayne's doing. And if you've come in late and you're new here, make sure you say hey. Let us know where you're from. If Alex is still on here, I've had one woman from Australia that I'm aware of. And then last week we had Alex from Scotland on here. So I've been all excited about these other countries coming in. I know that YouTube has told me that I've had 27 different countries on here, but always say hey, let us know you're here. We love having other people on, new people, and from the United States too. So a lot of times people will come in from other states and they have actually met and become friends. So um, say hey, say where you're from. You might find a new friend, a new sewing buddy on here. And at the retreat, we've got girls from all over. Last March, the March before, we had a girl from Arizona and her boyfriend both came to retreat. Um, Ohio, Wisconsin, my lovely, oh, that didn't sound good. My lovely Wisconsin girls, Wendy and Mary, my Georgia girls. I've got 4 Georgia girls. My Texas girls have never been. Um, I had Tennessee. It wasn't Luann. Trying to think of what her name was from Tennessee that came. But we have girls from all over, and it is so much fun. And I don't think anybody's ever had a bad time at retreat. Knock on wood, there's no drama, no craziness. It is just sheer fun and working on your quilting and learning. We learn so much from each other at retreat and eating. So we eat a lot at retreat. We have a lot of fun. The first meal's provided, and then everybody's on their own, except we do have continental breakfast. But the girls bring so much food that we never seem to have a problem with anything to eat. This machine, something's wrong. My tension is off, so something is going awry here. I don't know if you guys can see this. You see my train track in here? Got something going on. So Jack is going to make another appearance. Jack the Ripper is out. The first time in 2 months, Karen, you poor thing. But I'm glad you're getting the chance to sit back down. Yes, I'm glad he's feeling better too. Yeah, you have to diet. Elaine said diet the week before retreat. Absolutely. Because the food is to die for. And in November, the theme is going to be Thanksgiving. So the first night we will be having a Thanksgiving feast and setting up to sew all week. All right. Another seam gone. Now let me see if I can figure out what's going on here. Let's rethread the bobbin. And I'm going to rethread the machine. Now, girls, watch. I don't know if a lot of you know this. I didn't know this forever. When you go to rethread, don't pick up your thread and pull it back through your machine. Cut it and pull it out through the needle. When you pull it back through, all of that fuzz gets caught in parts of your machine. And that's what makes your machine mess up a lot. So I didn't know that handy dandy little tip until I got the genomes in, and I learned that. And if you have a needle threader and you have a needle up and down button, before you thread your machine, always hit the needle up and down button because it'll put the needle in the exact place it needs to be to thread the machine. I used to always just try to thread it from wherever it was at. I thought the machine knew. And if you're wondering why I'm self-threading, I broke my threader. So I got to thread it myself till Jeff gets here next week. All right, let's see. Get all those little seams out. Let's see if I can see what's going on here. My stomach's growling. I must be getting hungry. Let's see. Well, I cured it, whatever it was. The ailment is over. Okay, so I'm just going to do one of these for all of you that joined later. We're doing a raggy quilt block, a raggy quilt kit, and I am sewing the X's across the raggy part. And you can do decorative stitches on this. You just sew from corner to corner. And we've already sewed 2 rows together. So here are my 2 rows sewn together. And I cut a little bit up here to show them you cut about 1/8 of an inch apart to rag your quilt. Your seams stick up. Use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And after you finish the quilt, and it tells you in the instructions, go around the outside edge of your quilt with a 1/2 inch seam allowance and then clip down just above that seam to rag the edges of your quilt. And then it'll all be done. So that is it for tonight. I think I'm going to go make myself some dinner. But let me see what's going on with you guys first. Karen sent me a picture. See if I can get Karen's picture up so we can all see. Oh wow, she made a foothold or bought a foot holder for her machine. Oh, I'll have to look these up. So here is the foot holder on the back of her machine holding her feet. And what else did she get? Oh, it's on the front of your machine. It's on the front of her machine. Let me see. Nice. I love that. Yeah, I'm going to have to see if I can get them for the genomes. And did you say you got something else too, Karen? Let me look. Oh, you said it holds 2 feet. I was looking for two different things. Okay. Yes, there are great restaurants at Retreat. I love them. And if you're interested in the retreat, you can go in the description, click on the link for Living the Dream Quilt Shop, and then just type Retreat in the search bar. You can read all about it. We have single and double rooms. Great time. And it's from Wednesday to Sunday, November 4th to the 8th. And you can quilt all day and all night if you want to. The quilting room is in the motel, and it's an old motel. I believe it was built in 1847, and they have antique quilts hanging everywhere. Antiques all over the hotel. I love that place. Absolutely, Melissa, you'll have a great time. I don't know how I broke the threader, but I think it was probably from Jeff said me trying to hit the threader button and it automatically comes down when my needle wasn't in the right position. So he's the one that told me to hit that needle down, needle up to get the needle right where it needs to be because that little hook that grabs the thread is gone. All right, I love you, Karen. Good night, honey. But that is it for me tonight. If you guys have any questions on raggy quilting or anything else, hit me up in the comments or give me a text or a phone call, or you can hit me up on Facebook. Now, I will tell you, Facebook is now not keeping the videos as long as they used to. So if you're watching on Facebook, the videos go away after like sometimes 2 days, sometimes 2 weeks. YouTube, the videos are forever there. So if you go over to our YouTube channel, you can view different pictures of people's quilts and share your own in the community forum and hit that subscribe. Oh, you have to hit the subscribe button to be in the community forum, but it's totally free. And subscribing helps small businesses so much, and it's totally free for you. But thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. It's been a great night. Thanks for helping me live my dream. I hope you're all living yours. See you later. Maybe. I don't know. There